What is going on, everybody? Just out here solo on a Tuesday evening. I wanted to talk to you guys about something. I wanted to talk about why I believe the Surron is still the best e-bike you can buy in 2024. Some circle action. Woo! So, if you're within the e-bike Surron Taria scene, or you've been looking at getting a bike like these for yourself, you've probably seen that everybody has been talking about the two new Talarias, the XXX and the Talaria Sting R MX4, as well as the E-Ride Pro SS. So with the XXX, it's a more budget-friendly bike. It's cheaper than the Surron and all the other bikes. And with the Sting R MX4 and the E-Ride Pro SS, you're getting better performance out of the box for similar cost to a stock Surron. So everybody likes that. Everybody is saying that those bikes are probably the way to go at this point compared to a Surron. But I have a few key reasons why I still believe that Surron is the way to go. If you're looking to purchase an e-bike / e-dirt bike in 2024. Security guard is pulling up behind me right now. See ya. So the first reason that I believe you should purchase a Surron if you're in the market for a bike like this in 2024 is that the brand Surron has been around by far the longest. The Lightbee first came out in 2018, so it's been around. It's tried and true. It's tested. It's a super durable bike. A lot of people say that the Surron hasn't changed much since it came out in 2018, which is true. But in my opinion, I think that's kind of a good thing because everything has been tested for years now at this point. Everything on the Surron has been tested for years and it's held up. And I mean, Surron is the name of the game. One of the things that scares me a little bit about the E-Ride Pro SS in particular is that it's a new brand. Nobody has had the bike for years. We don't really know how it holds up. I understand there's a lot of power that you get out of that bike in its stock form, but it hasn't been tested like the Surron. The second reason I believe you should buy a Surron in 2024 compared to those other bikes, in my opinion, is that the Surron is the best looking one. The Lightbee is the best looking compared to the E-Ride Pro SS, compared to the Talarias. I think the style of the Surron, it's by far the best looking. I know a lot of people have that opinion, and that may not be the biggest deal compared to the power aspect of things. If you're looking for bang for buck power wise, you may not be caring about the looks, but I think the Surron looks the best, and it's stock form too. I mean, look at it. Mine's a little far from stock, especially with the different wheels and the graphics and everything, but just the frame and the battery placement and the seat and everything on the Surron just looks so much better than those other bikes, in my opinion. And the third reason I think you should buy a Surron compared to those other bikes is the aftermarket. The aftermarket support for the Surron is by far the biggest. Talaria is definitely coming up close. There's a lot of aftermarket stuff out for the Talarias, but for the Surron, I mean, there's everything. You can get every single piece on the bike except like the frame and make it a completely different bike. There's even aftermarket swing arms, a lot of good options. There's a lot of good options for all the parts. Fully customizable. All the big tried and true name brands make every part for the Surron. And the fourth reason why I think you should buy a Surron instead of those other bikes is the reliability. This kind of piggybacks off the fact that the Surron has been out the longest and tested for the longest amount of time. But the Surron, it's just reliable, especially in its stock form. If you don't change anything, you just throw some maybe better brake pads in there and that's about it. The bike's just gonna work. And it's not going to stop working, especially if you don't tinker with any of the electrical. You don't get an aftermarket controller, battery, or anything like that. The bike is just going to work. I haven't had a single issue with mine, and I have 2,400 miles on it. I know there's people with a lot more miles than that, but I feel like 2,400 miles, that's a pretty good amount of miles to be able to say it's awesome that I haven't had a single problem with the bike. It's never failed me. So just the sheer reliability of the Surron is awesome, especially if you're going to be taking this thing out 10, 15, 20 miles away from home. You don't want to get stranded. You don't want the bike not turning on or something like that. And the last reason, in my opinion, that you should buy a Surron, this one's going to target the Taria Sting R, is that the Surron is belt driven. It doesn't have a gearbox. The Sting R has a gearbox. You have to change the oil in it. Some people like that. You don't have a belt to snap at that point. But honestly, for most people, snapping belts on the Surron probably isn't going to be an issue. The only time that's ever going to happen most of the time is if you are running upgraded power, like really high upgraded power, and you're hitting big jumps. That's how you're going to snap a belt. Even then, you can upgrade to the chain drive. And that's not going to snap. So it's kind of up to you. Pick your poison as far as that goes. But I don't want to be changing oil on the gearbox on my electric bike. I just don't want to deal with that. I want to have the bike ready to go. Minimal maintenance. The only maintenance on the Surron really is brake pads, bleeding your brakes, and tires. I mean, that's really all. Not much to do as far as maintenance goes on the Surron. I'm curious to see what you guys think, because I know there's a lot of controversy around this topic. People are saying that the Surron, there's no reason to buy a stock Surron when you can buy these other stock bikes for cheaper, the same price, and get more power. So leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys again for watching and the continued support. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. The weather hasn't been the best lately, like I said, so the videos have been lacking, but I'm going to try to keep them coming the best I can until we get to that better weather. Once the better weather comes around, the videos are going to go crazy. But with that being said, I will see you guys next video.
Destruction, a risky business of going against the grain. The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man.